Hi, welcome to another video for today. In the last video, we went over a bit of an introduction to digital forensics. In this video, we'll be implementing Active Directory Federation services. So the overarching thing for our first exercise is just preparing system requirements for ADFS resource partners. So let's say the administration of network resources such as files, folders, printers, network applications can be managed by setting up access control lists, right, or ACLs to users groups, Active Directory domain services, or ADDS. When users log into the domain by presenting their credentials or identity and is successfully signed in, they're granted access to corporate assets, of course, based on their role in the network. So not going to get too deep into that. Just wanted to touch just the bare bones of it and then get straight into the task. Right. So the first task is going to be adding and installing AD certificate services. So we're going to head to the dashboard for Server Manager, and we're going to go to the Windows PowerShell. Love PowerShell. All right. So let's do this here. Should work. Perfect. So we're good there. So it's just the install of AD certificate services, and it'll give us a system notification when the install is successful. Now, in the next prompt, I'm going to begin to install the AD certificate services using default settings. In just a moment, looks like it's finishing up now. There it is. All right, perfect. So I'll get straight into it. I'm sorry. ADCS certification authority. Okay, we're fine. It's all right. So it confirms it. Just weird with the error ID and the error string, but nonetheless, we're good. So now we're going to export the root CA certificate to a file. So going to be exported to a file and later used in a separate task for a certificate trust within our external organization. So let's go back to the server manager, back to that dashboard, and let's take a look at the certification authority here. Practice labs. All right, and let's take a look at the properties. Let's view the certificate. Look at the details. And we're going to copy the file. And everything's set down here. All right, and let's see next. And the file to export. The export was successful. Then I'm going to click OK here. going to keep the CA console window open. Now I'm just going to configure the custom certificate template on a CA server. So a server running the ADFS must be assigned a custom certificate that supports subject alternative names, right, or SAN. And assigning more than one name to a certificate is a concept of subjective alternative names, right? So using our preferred or anyone's preferred search engine, we can learn a little bit more about that. So to set up a custom security template, we'll do a bit of the following. So we have that expanded, and then let's right click here and manage. All right. Perfect. So now we're in the console. I'm going to right click on web server, duplicate template, get general. That's going to be the new name. Publish, yep. Active Directory, security, add. Good. Okay. Perfect. So we're good there. Now that we're back on the properties for the new template. We're going to select this one and then allow row. Then let's see, allow enroll this one as well. And okay, we're going to close this window. We're going to keep this window open. Now we're going to allow the issuance of the new template. So to make the new certificate available to requesting users, it has to be added in the certificate templates folder in the certification authority. So now we're going to, the certification authority is open. Let's right click this again, and then let's do new. Does it let you? That's fine. Now let's close this up. All right, so now we're going to request a web certificate for the ADFS server. Let's see, so we're still on the correct server. So let's that. I'm going to run MMC. Now we're going to hit file here, add remote snap-in. I'm going to hit click add for active directory domains. And let's see, the computer account. It's not populating what it needs to. Let's fix that. All right, so I fixed it. It's going a bit too fast, but I fixed it. Everything is back on track now. It didn't take long at all. Just had to make sure. I added the certificates for the local computer, did a bit of write my settings for my configurations for a local computer, so it allows us to browse the contents of the certificate storage for ourselves. All right, so now that we got that done, let's expand certificates. And let's see, local computer. Let's see, personal certificates. All right, let's actually right click it and then all tasks, request new, then next, next, then let's select what we just made here. Then, perfect. So in the value, let's do this here. Do, come on, work with me here. There we go. ADFS. I'm gonna click. All right, perfect. Then enterprise registration. All right, perfect. So they're all added. Just to make sure I had everything correct. So now just going to go back to the, well, now that I'm back at the certificate enrollment, and I hit enroll finally, right? Oh, that was quick. All right, so now just close that out. So I'm just going to minimize this and head to the next task, which is going to be, well, exercise rather. So I'm just going to be preparing system requirements for the ADFS accounts partner. So we're first going to start with installing a new ADDS for us. So let's install it here. Let's see. So I actually have to connect there. So I'll be connected there once it's fully up and running. All right. So I got it up and running. So let's head to the Windows PowerShell by way of the Server Manager. Gotta love PowerShell, right? There it is. That's what I was looking for. I just got to wait why. I just have to wait while the AD domain services binaries are being installed. And with when the addition of the AD domain services they're complete, I will promote this server as a domain controller for the domain that I'll have for practiceit.uk.domain or practiceit.co.uk.domain. So once this completes, then I'll be able to enter in another command so we can do a few more things here. All right, so it has completed. So now we can go ahead with the next command. This is the domain I was mentioning. Perfect. Of course. Now it's just validating. All right. Oh, yeah, I flubbed that one. Now it should work. Perfecto. All right, so it's going to take a few minutes to finish as far as the domain controller role being installed on this particular server. And it's also going to automatically restart once the controller role is established. So just going to give it a few moments, and then we should be back up and running to move on to installing and configuring the AD certificate services. All right, so on to regular schedule programming. So everything is restarted, it was installed, and now running this command again through PowerShell by way of the server management dashboard. So let's go ahead and run this command here. Let's see, there it is. So it's working. So now, and all of this, well, most of this is later to establish a certificate of trust between two domains. It's going to be practiceit.co.uk and practicelabs.com. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I wanted to show me running this in the PowerShell window to install the AD certificate services for this, and then I'll show the next prompt to install the ADCS. Actually, there it is. Quicker than I thought. All right, so let's do this. Yes, of course. Perfect. So now just going to minimize this. So now I'm going to export the root CA certificate. So to export it, the certificate to a file, I'm just going to perform a few steps. So I'm going to head back to the dashboard here for the server manager, and I'm going to head to the certificate authority, of course, certification authority. Let's expand this, and then we're going to actually right click. I have to find my dishwasher. Then we're going to head into properties. And then in the dialog box in general, we're just going to make sure we view the certificate, and then take a look at the details here. Pull that up. All right, copy the file, of course, just like we pretty much did before. Same exact pretty much concept. Next, the file name is, let's see, one, that'll work. Yeah. All right, finish. Perfect. All right, now the export was successful as we've expected. All right, so let's get out of here. Actually, we're gonna keep this open. All right, so now we're going to configure the custom certificate template on a TA server. So this server that we're on now, the SA01, is going to be configured as the ADFS server in the accounts partner domain. As such, it must have a web server certificate that supports the subject alternative name and or the certificate with multiple names, right? So it's already expanded here. So let's right click for, actually, there it is. Okay. All right, now we're in the console. All right, so just going to look for web server template. Right, then go. For security, pretty much the same thing that we did before. So we're going to do add. Here we go. Actually, That would work. There it is. Okay. All right. So actually, let's see. Oh, okay. I'll see what's going on here. All right. Enroll. There we go. Enroll. Should be. I'll just do this too because it's. All right, perfect. So sorry about that. I'll just really focus on make sure everything was correct for the new certificate. So now I'm going to allow issuance for the new template, right? So I'm going to add the customized certificate template that can be issued by the CA server to do a few things. So let's see, certification authority. So let me something else really quick here. Thank you. I'll close this. Okay. Computer account, course, local computer. And let's see. We're gonna right click. Let's see, actually. Yeah, and then we're gonna right click certificates, all task, request new. Computer, personal. There it is. And request new certificate. Going too fast again. All right, so now let's see, next. And then of course here, here. This is what I was talking about earlier, getting a certificate of trust um, between two domains. All right, so okay, do DNS. This IT. Okay, perfect. So let's see if we stay here for a second. Yeah, looks good. All right, perfect. And then alternative. All right, perfect. So now they're all added. Thank goodness. All right, and then make sure we enroll, finish. We love when the finish is quick, right? We do. Actually, you know what? Oh, darn it. I wanted to minimize that. That's fine. Well, we're going to create a group policy object for the trust group for the certificate authority in the practicelab.com and the practiceIT.co.uk domains, as I mentioned before. We're going to establish certificate trust between them. So, got to connect back to this one. So, we're going to pivot over here and group policy management, right? Practice labs, domains, practice labs, default domain policy. I'm going to edit it. And then computer configuration, policies, Windows, security, to public key. There we go. Public key policies, then trusted root certification. There we go. My boy. Actually, all right, perfect. So let's hit next. Then the file to import is going to be all right. Okay, perfect. All right, everything looks good. All right, so perfect. That's what we like. So the import was successful, and I acknowledged it with the okay there. So now that it has been successfully added, I can edit out of close out of there and actually minimize this for a moment. So now I'm just going to pivot back over to this server, right? Back to this dashboard, group policy management again. So forest, domains, practice labs. Let's see, no. Names, huh, would normally show practicelabs.com and then default domain. That's what I was looking for. But nonetheless, we're still going to move forward. All right, so now we're going to go through pretty much the same policies, Windows security, then public key, then trusted root certification authorities. Oh, import. Do that. All right, so let's GCO1. And next, finish. Import was successful again. All right, perfect. So, actually going to close this, minimize this also, and I'm going to move forward with the next. So this exercise, we're going to enable the name resolution for resource and account domain. So the name resolution must be properly configured between two organizations that are joined together with an AD federation service, right, for their trust, services trust. So we're going to enable the domain controllers of each domain to have an alternate DNS server that points to an external organization. So we're going to start with configuring the alternate DNS and DNS forwarding. So we're going to pivot back over here. And then command prompt. And let's do this here. Oops, where are you doing? There it is. There it is. I think I might have gotten something off. So because it's net sh, it may not return into or indicate a successful configuration. But that's perfectly fine. We're going to move forward with the show, right? So actually going to go back to the server manager, and then we're going to go to the DNS. All right, so let's expand this bad boy right here, conditional folders. All right, we won't do it, not doing it for me. So for the domain, let's do what we've been doing, .to.uk, then 92.8.0.4. Perfect. Okay, that follows. Perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, perfectly fine. So now a conditional forwarder is now available for us, right? So now in the manager, let's see, let's take it to 4 lookup zones. Yeah, let's look at practice labs. Then, let's see, new host. All right, so now we're gonna, in the name, we're gonna use the parent domain name. So ADSS. And this host successfully created. So we're gonna do one more. Perfect. Need to check anything else. All right, perfect. So now I'm done. So I can close this new host. So I won't be creating any more hosts. So now I'm going to pivot back over to SAO1 and then get into that command prompt. Pretty much the same. Perfect. That's fine. Still don't get a return status. Let's say, okay, actually, oh, they're telling me it's incorrect. You know what? Not even going to worry about it. Because again, the error can happen if the computer is unable to detect the other DNS server for the network. So make it a same message if it's already on the list. So I'm going to ignore it. All right, so let's head back to the server manager. And let's take a look at the DNS actually. Expand the conditional forwarders. All right, then let's get a new one here as well. So let's do practicelabs.com. Let's get an IP in here as well. Let's store this. I believe that is it for that one. So now we have a conditional forwarder, right? Practicelabs.com. Click it. Should I? Okay, try then. See. Oh. There it is. Okay. My mistake. All right, ADFS. 216. Host. I think I'm going to add another one. Yep. perfect. I am done. Add a new host. So I'm going to close the DNS manager. And we're going to head to the next tab. So now for this exercise, we're going to prepare the requirements for the ADFS server resource partner. So really quickly, the resource partner domain in an Active Directory Federation service infrastructure is the organization that owns a corporate network resource, like a web application, right? That's used by or accessed by users from the account partner organization. So what I'm going to do is install the IIS on another server that we haven't used yet. We're going to go to here, and I'll do a bit of PowerShell on that one once it's up and running. All right, so there were a few things that took place, right? So I went ahead and, as I mentioned, installed the IIS on this server that we're on, DMO1. And as you can see here from my command, I just to install the web server and other required components, I entered this command. And then once that took place, then I was able to add some additional features through PowerShell as far as installing the ASP and the development tools, right? So I've successfully done that. And now I'll need to actually restart the server, but I just wanted to make sure that the progress was being followed throughout the video. So I'm going to, in you guys' time, it'll be sped up a bit. You'll be on the other side of the restart, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss those two commands that I placed in and why. All right, so I've officially reconnected, and now I'm going to move forward to the next task, which is requesting a computer computer certificate for IIS. Because a trusted certificate authority was configured earlier on the DC01 server. Now to ensure the DM01 server, I'm sorry, it was done earlier for the DC01, and now to ensure the DMO1 detects the trusted certificate authority, we need to update the computer policy. So let's see, I'm gonna run here. All right, so let's see. Same thing as usual, like I did before. Certificates, I'm gonna add computer account. Finish. Then, okay. Then let's expand certificates. Personal certificate. Then all task, request new. Next. Okay, there it is. Check here. This, and let's see, what names do we have? So actually, let's make sure this is coming up. Right, that one. And then DNS. DM1. Actually, let me make sure that I'm being congruent here. What the heck is this? It's automatically changed it to whatever that is. Okay, for that. Or I guess I didn't notice before. All right, so now both of the names are added. So just gonna hit OK, enroll, of course. We're gonna finish, minimize this. All right, so let's make sure we're on the correct one. All right, so let's go to the IIS manager. All right, let's open this up, server certificates. All right, so let's see. So a computer certificate is now issued to DMO1, the server that we're on. So let's keep this window kind of open. Just leave that sitting there. So now we're just going to configure the secure socket layer bindings. So to enable websites published for DMO1 to use the secure socket layer, certificate must be bound to the default website. So while this is open, let's actually expand the sites and then edit bindings here. Then we're going to hit add, change it to secure. And let's see, we're going to keep the same port. Looks like it, PLAN DM1. Perfect. There we go. Close that out and actually minimize this. So now I'm going to download a sample claims application. And so that's going to require me to download sample code to create a claims aware application, right? So it may not have full capability because of the lab environment for full-fledged claims application. And so it may not be functional. So let's go to Internet Explorer. And let's do that. Let's see, tools, and let's see Windows Server 2012. There it is. All right, let's save it. Of course, we're going to open the folder. So we extract it. So all right, so let's go up one again. Copy. Do that. So let's perfect. Okay, let's paste it here. All right, so now we can close this, close that, close that. Now we're going to add a web application. So to add the sample application, we're going to do just a few things. Let's actually restore this here. And then let's do this, add application, right? And then see for the alias, let's do claims. And then this right here. First time you're seeing it, I promise. All right, so let's minimize that, and let's get to the next. So for now, what we're going to do is install and configure the AD Federation services after successfully setting up the requirements for the resource, right, in the account partner side of the active ADS. I'm sorry, the ADFS. Now I'm going to install the Active Directory Federation services on each organization's domain. So first, we're going to install the IIS on the DC01 and the SA01, and that's going to run the ADFS. So let's start with DC. All right. So let's head to the server. Do that. Let's open up PowerShell, of course. My favorite. Include management tools. Collecting, I'm not going to bore you guys with this, so I'm going to fast forward you guys to the other side. All right, just for an update, so I did the exact same thing between both servers, between DC01 and SA01, as you can see here, and they were both successful. So now I'm going to move forward with adding the ADFS feature in the resource partner, and I'm going to pivot back over to DC01 to restore the PowerShell so I can continue with that. So I'll do this command here. And let's see. Update. Okay. All right. Perfect. So now the GUID for the managed service account is created. So now just to install the AD Federation services, I'm going to let's see, those feature name. ADFS Federation. Actually, there we go. Again, not going to bore you guys with this. I'll see you on the other side of this. All right, perfect. So it was successful for the install for the AD Federation services. Now I'm going to configure a standalone Federation server. So yeah, we're on a correct one here. So I'm going to go back to the server manager, and I'm actually going to refresh it. Refresh the window for the dashboard. And there we go. Then we're going to configure that Federation service, right? So perfect. Next. Right, and then on this page, the current, that's good. That's what we want to see. Let's see this one. And the service name, that looks good. Then this one. Oh. All right, so now let's see, specify Student Federation Service, GMSA. All right, so now for this one, create a database. Yeah, that's good. All right, next. Let's just configure. All right, so not going to bore you guys with this. I'll see you on the other side when it's finished. All right, so it was successfully configured, as we can see here. So I'm just going to hit close out of here. So I'm just going to restart the server here. All right, perfect. Shouldn't take long at all. Okay. Yeah. It should. All right, so it's back up and running. So now I'm going to verify the availability of Federation metadata on the ADFS server. So now that it's completely restarted, I can continue. I'm going to pivot over to, darn it, a server that I have to wait for it to be turned on, up and running. So, but what we're going to do is just going to get into the network center and do a few things. Mess around with the proxy settings and some exceptions, right? And get on some websites also, maybe one or two as far as the next steps. But let me actually, I think it came a little bit quicker. Let's see. It's still taking a while. All right, so now we can get rocking and rolling. All right, so let's open up the network and sharing center. All right, and then internet options here. Then the LAN settings. There we go. Local area network. Advanced. Now for the proxy settings, exceptions. Let's see. Just star. Perfect. See here. And then we're just going to close this. So I don't want to do nothing else more than launch Internet Explorer. It's my favorite browser of all time. All right, so let's enter in the web address for practice lab DC01. Metadata 2007. Man, that was a while ago. Federation, data. Let's copy of this again, just in case. But the XML file, I figured it would happen. So actually, let me open up the notepad. It works. There we go. So I'm gonna try an alternative. Federation metadata, right? And 206 Federation. I know it gets me. Okay, let's try this one. There we go. All right, perfect. So the metadata of the ADFS server is displayed, and I got what I wanted, so I can close the browser. So now I'm going to install the ADFS in the accounts partner domain. And to do that, I need to pivot over to here, right? And then let's see, actually, I'm already in a PowerShell. Okay, perfect. So I think I did this one before. I did not. Looks like that's fine. I may have done it in another server. This command I'm going to run here, KD, that's root key. Okay. That was quick. All right, so let me copy this. There it is. My guy. All right, perfect. So now we got the GUID. So in the next prompt to install the actual AD Federation services, just going to do something like dang it. Yeah, okay, it's kind of similar to this. Instead of CS, we're going to do FS Federation. Then, come on, do this to me. There we go. Right. All right. So it has been successfully installed. So we're going to minimize this. So now I'm going to configure a standalone Federation server and accounts partner organization. So to install that, let's go back to the server manager here. Then let's refresh it. And it should be this again. Right. So let's hit next. Right. Then next again. Right. Which one do we want? Yep, that one. This IT Federation. Okay, so FS G and SA. All right, let's see, create a database, that's fine. Review options. Next, configure. Now it's just installing, waiting for it to finish. All right, so it has been successfully configured, so I'll go ahead and close that. All right, and then let's go ahead and restart it here. All right, so we're back up and running. So just going to now head to the next task, which is verifying the availability of Federation metadata on the AD FS server and accounts partner. So I'm going to switch over to this server. All right, so let's open up Internet Explorer and let's start typing. All right, so A1 practice IT.co.uk Federation metadata 076 Federation. Didn't I put it on a notepad? I'm still writing it. So, yeah, and it's still not working. All right, so I think I did. Let me do this. Just got to change a few things. Next, let me just change it here so I can actually see it. project. There it's kind of small. So instead of practice labs, we're doing practice T, then CO dot UK federation metadata. That's pretty much it. For changes. Oh, this should work. Perfect. Boom. Got it again. So now the metadata of the ADFS server is displayed. So we can head on to our next task. So for this exercise, we're going to create the AD Federation Service Trust because in the Active Directory domain, right, or the ADDS, a trust relationship is created between two Active Directory domains that's been um, two domain fours and two external domains to allow the sharing of the network's assets or centralize the administration of users or groups, right, between domains. So the trust relationship is like a logical link between two domains that rely on a verifiable and permanent network connection to authenticate all identities to access the resources, right? So let's start with enabling claims provider trust. So let's head over to this server, right? Then let's see, ADFS management. There we go. Claims provider trust. The claim rules, right? So let's add a rule. Let's see. Let's see. Window template page. No doubt. There it is. We're just double checking. Just got to read. So the claim name is going to be outgoing LDAP attributes rule. If I can spell. Okay, perfect. So let's select Active Directory. Address. Let's see, this one here. I think it's not here. Maybe here then. There it is. Let's see. VPN. Why couldn't this be alphabetical order? Let's see. There it is. Perfect. All right. So VPN. Site name. Hmm. Okay, that's a bit weird. Let's see, outgoing. Come on. I'm looking for a display name. Now it looks like the doesn't like me typing. Let's not take too much. We've already wasted too much time on this. All right, so I'm half an idiot. So I fixed everything as far as the mapping of the attributes for the outgoing claims and the attributes they were tied to. So I'm just going to hit OK here after fixing it. So I'm just going to keep this. Let's see. Just let me hit apply. Technically finished. I'm going to keep the. I'm going to keep this management open here. So now I'm going to configure the Windows Identity Foundation Federation utility. So just going to connect back to DMO1 in Net Explorer and let's see, tools. Again, Windows Server like for 2012, unfortunately. The Windows Identity Foundation SDK. And I want to run. Okay, next. Of course, accept. Next. Next. Install. Okay. Finish. Probably should have unchecked it. Let me exit out of here. All right, so let's click on tools here. Identity Foundation. All right, so let's do this here. Make sure I spelled it right. All right, so choose an existing, right? And for that, we can use, oh, I don't, okay. Okay. Looks like it's right. All right, now I'm gonna disable, that's fine. No encryption is okay. Then next, finish. All right, so now we've configured the application and now we can configure relying party trust for the claims web app. So the relying party is the organization where the application is actually located. So it functions on the other side of the ADFS authentication authorization process. So where the application resides, then this application resource will be accessed by practiceIT.co.uk. So let's pivot here and let's see. Let's go here. Let's see. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Properties, connections, command settings, just like before. Advanced, right, and then press star. That's good. That's good. Oh. All right, so that's what Windows should be open. There it is. All right, so let's click on here. Then the action, let's do add relying party trust. All right. All right, perfect. So let's hit start. And then import ADFS practicelabs.com. Okay. Oh, okay, because I put in the wrong one here. So okay, let's fix this. All right, so I found a way around it. The issue I was running into. Nonetheless, we're going to keep the show rolling. All right, so let's have a display name that we should have. And let's see, the ready to trust. Ready to add trust. Figure. Oh, okay. All right, perfect. All right, so now that I've taken care of that, I'm going to configure claim rules for the claims provider trust. So the claim rules, they define how claims are sent and used by the ADFS servers. So the claim rules are used by accounts, partner organizations to provide claims to their users and the claims that are acceptable by the resource partner organization. So just going to pivot over to this server now that, let's see, management should have been open for this, but it's not. So let's open it back up. Okay, the details. Okay, gotta refresh here. Right. So typically, what should be happening is whenever I opened up the ADFS management, it should be automatically redirected to the claim providers trust folder. And then on the details pane, it would have the practice IT claim provider for me to be able to do a bit more editing for the claim rules. Then in the claim rules, I would do some acceptance for transform rules, add a few more rules, as well as do some more configuring under the claim rule name um, and the incoming claim, Windows accounts. Um, it's a bit more of a touch to it. At the very end, not sure where the breakdown is. Actually, you know what? I'll figure it out. What happened? Let's see. All right. So I fixed it. I had some issues with my proxy settings from a few steps prior to the snag. So we're just going to keep the train rolling, of course. Um, let's see, and close. And then back to what I was doing about going over here. Okay, perfect. There we go. That's what we want to see. We didn't want to see it named this way, but this is what ultimately what we wanted to see, regardless. So now we're just going to edit some claim rules, as I mentioned. So under the, let's see, I'm gonna choose rules here. Filter. Okay, yeah, finish. Yes, we do. Okay, perfect. So now we've completed the essential task of how to implement the Active Directory rights management services. And that'll be the end of this video finally. Took us a while to get here, but we got here. And for a brief recap, we went over implementing AD Federation services or Active Directory Federation services. So we prepare system requirements for AD rights management services, configure AD rights management services, set up an AD RMS template, created an exclusion and trust policy, as well as test AD RMS client functionality as well. And in our next video, we're going to be doing some configuring for Radius. I'll see you there.